And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. I apologize for the stream going down. Again, our stream has been going down on a daily basis here. It's becoming really sad. God, feels bad, man. Feels bad. So yeah, unfortunately, our internet has been quite unstable, and so far, I mean, it isn't like we like the ping spikes or anything like that. It's just the internet turns off. The internet turns off, then it turns back on a couple of minutes later. Has been happening every single day for the past week. Feels bad, man. And hopefully the stream is stable and it doesn't go down from here. Hopefully we're able to conclude the broadcast. As it happened off stream, Mixu did bring down his opponent, did bring down a Baby Marine. And now we have our new King of the Hill spawning in the bottom right hand corner. We have our Finnish Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing Berserker Esports. Our current King of the Hill, it is Mixu. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the red Zerg player from the land of the UK, playing Zerg off racing, representing the Platinum Heroes. It is Eva. Let's go. Predictions in the chat should be open. Place your bets on how you think this series will unfold. Who will be the next King of the Hill in this ZVZ? Again, Cosmic Sapphire, it has been quite some time since we have embraced this map. It's been a number of years, and I'm ready. I'm ready to embrace it. It is known for its macro play, but in a ZVZ, that I'm not so sure about. We do have a narrow choke point coming into the natural, so we can wall up on two bases, but we'll see how both Eba and Mixu do respond. For now, Hatch Gas Pool all around. Hatch Gas Pool all around. And, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do about the internet and what's been going on. That's Smurge, Patty, Smurge. We'll see. Hopefully tomorrow we can have a technician coming down, and hopefully they can resolve the issue. I'm a little bit anxious that they're not going to be able to, and they're not going to know what's wrong, and we just have to deal with it. And yeah. Feels bad. We'll see though, we'll see. Oh, we'll see what happens. So now we're settling in. Again, it is going to be a Hatch Gas Pool out of Eva, standard opener. Likewise, the same can be said for Mixu. And from here, we can calm things down and get into our two-base setup. We are going to be settling things down. Link is moving out. We have link speed on the way. We pulled out of gas. Again, just being as efficient as possible, making sure we can head into our third bases. We're not going to be walling up. We are indeed expanding. Third base is on the way for Eba. Likewise, third base is on the way for Mixu standard openers for the time being. Settling into our standard openers. Links are going to be moving out. Again, just scouting each other, making sure that we're not skipping Banelings. We're not going into roach play. We're not heading into any hidden tech. Making sure that we are indeed expanding. We get eyes onto the third base. So a nice scout from both Eba and Mixu. We need to confirm. Just responding. As of for now, we're going to be embracing our Banelings. Again, no one is skipping any tech. No one is rushing into roaches. Speaking of, roach warren now going to be thrown down for Eva. And Mixu will get a full scout for the most part. We're going to read what's going on. Slipping into the main. Likewise, roach warren on the way for Mixu as well. We're calming things down, and we're going to be looking to try to skip the Lingbane phase of ZVZ and head into the Roach v Roach. We're at least headed in that direction. We can see Eba making some safety Banelings back at home. Meanwhile, Mixu is droning. Mixu is happily droning up. Not making any Banelings yet. So we are still building up. And we're just droning. You know, it's been a while since I've seen a ZVZ quite like this, where we just kind of chill. We're just chilling, we're just chileno. We know we're joining up on three bases. We're not really embracing any fast aggression, any fast roaches, any lings, nothing of the sort. We're just kind of, yeah, settling in. settling in, calming down, droning up, getting into +1 range from the side of Mixu. Upgrades are going to be a little bit delayed for Eba. Both players working towards their lairs, and both players working towards the roach phase of ZVZ. Okay, let's go. And we'll see how we do deviate from here. Again, Mixu will have that upgrade advantage and can make use of that quite nicely. Likewise, Mixu has the roach speed advantage as well, as the lair is about to finish up. So Mixu, he is slightly ahead in multiple aspects when it comes to the roach v roach. The advantage that Eba has at the moment is still just saturating his base and still just droning up. It is a small window that we can make use of. Oh, the Bailey's able to land! No! Ooh, massive connections. Bailey's, they hit the mineral line, and just like that, Eba takes a massive economic loss. Massive economic deficit. Ay, ay, ay. Meanwhile, across the map, Mix, all we have to do is build up and defend. A Spire is on the way. I feel like it's a little bit unnecessary. We're very nicely lined up to head into Roach play, but the Spire is on the way nonetheless to get a handful of units for map control. Working towards a longer game. Meanwhile, Eba going for some drop play. We have Banelings in production, but the Overlord is about to be spotted.
Under attack.
Yeah, big scout here from Mixu. He gets eyes on the drop lord, gets eyes on the Banelings as well. Mixu is somewhat aware. And he is getting in position. Yeah, Spore Crawler, Queen as well. We are getting ready. Job does hit the third. Oh, slipping in. Up! Oh my god. As we're headed for the mineral line, and alas, Mixu does respond in time. He does pull away. Oh my god, the Bailey's, they crash in, and we get 4 drones and barely 6 drone kills towards the end. That's an okay trade. 6 workers for 4 Bailings. It's okay. Does deal a blow here to Mixu, but here we go. We're now moving out with our roaches, and the mutas are about to help as well. Mutas are soon to arrive, and we have not been able to scout. We are not ready. We are not aware. Mutas are moving out. At the same time, Mixu just distracting, keeping Eva busy. Keeping him pinned with his roach movement. Likewise, Spine Crawler is being thrown down as well. We're getting ready for the counterattack again. Because Mixu is investing into all these mutas, he will be behind in roaches. He's getting ready for that kind of... Ooh, he's getting ready for that setup. Getting ready for the counterattack. And here we go. Eba does pull the trigger. Mutas have been revealed. Oh, the mutas weren't able to do much. They're hunting down overlords. At the same time, Eba, he commits across the map. He's going for the 4th base. Does zone away the roaches, but the mutas, they collapse on top of the Ravagers. Yeah, the Ravagers are going to be targeted. The Spine Crawlers, they finish up just in time. Yeah, the Spines are ready. The mutas, they're going ham. The roaches are barely breaking through those Spine Crawlers, but do we have enough roaches? It's a question. Can we get into the mineral lines? Our boys are being pulled. Pull the boys for a moment. We do end up losing 3 of them. And we're running out of steam. We're running out of roaches. The mutas, they reign supreme. They shut down all the roaches. They will clean them all up. And Mixu defends, only losing 4 drones. Very nice defense here out of Mixu. And now we're going for a massive counterattack. And again, Eba was not ready for this. He was not set up. Is now making Hydras. Hydrogen is done. Hydrogen has completed. We're going for the queens though. Oh, we're going to get 1 queen. There's 2 left. Well, now 1. All the queens go down. Boys are being pulled. The mutas, they can try to evacuate and hit the main, but no, they're going for the spore. Oh my god. They get the Spore Crawler, and Eba just cannot keep up. Not with this army, not anymore. There are a handful of Hydras, but we've lost control of the 4th base. And we just keep pushing in. Yeah, picking up more Hydras, picking up more roaches. The mutas pulling away, going for the main. And not quite collapsing on that Spore. Not yet. Mixu still rallying across the map, but there we go. He does fix his rally. He does pull away. Doubling down on Mass Muta. Going Muta Roach, catching more reinforcements, keeping Eba busy. Meanwhile, he's just building up back at home. Catching more Hydra reinforcements. and Eva's going to be stuck defending. Like, with this kind of composition with Hydras, we have to get into Spore production, resaturate our base, get into Lurkers, and get into Hydra Lurker Viper. It's a very slow defensive style here from Eva that we have to embrace against Muta. It's not easy to pull off. We did catch some of the Mutas, though. Not bad. Some of the Mutas are caught out. At the same time, Roach, as they go for a bit of a run by, a bit of a waddle by. Not getting much done. I say that, some drones are now going to be going down. Likewise, Mutas in the main, they denied the Lurker Den! Ah, brutal pick off. Lurker Den goes down. Oh, for 2 Mutas. Oh, for 3! For almost 4 Mutas. Not bad. Hydra reposition. Getting another Muta. 5th Muta goes down. 6th! Oh my god, 6 Mutas do fall. Expensive losses there for Mixu. Back at home, we're getting back into a ground-based army. We're building up Roaches, building up Lings. It's not about the Mutas, not anymore. Now it's about the Roach Ravager. And we're going to be committing in. Oh, but we do get a surround on Mixu's army. Eva, he can actually clean this up. Yeah, wild move here out of Mixu. It's not going to pay off. We bleed out too many Roaches. We shut down the Mutas. And the advantage that Mixu once had isn't really there anymore. You won't get the base. Mixu does have the economic lead, and Mixu is not taking into Hydra Lurker. So it's going to be Hydra Lurker Viper from Eva. Meanwhile, Mixu just working with Roach Ravager. So suddenly Mixu has the tech lead. Sorry, Eva has the tech lead. The others are clear. You know what I mean. Eva has to take advantage. Ling Rama into the natural. Does get a couple of workers. One drone goes down. At the same time, Roaches, they try to hit the 4th base. Getting on top of the Lurkers. We got 1 Lurker. Ooh, just the 1. The base does survive. Melees roll in. Up. Oh my god. Melees, they roll in. We get 6 drone kills, and we're not done. We're making our way into the main. At least trying to. Well, we're getting there. We'll get the detonate. Oh, never mind. Detonation's a little bit lackluster in the main base. The mass Roach does hit the 3rd. Once again, trying to brute force that way through, but the Lurkers are buried. And you can see that Mixu is being forced to tech. He has to then throw down the Hydra Den. He has to tech into his own Lurkers. Roaches, they hit the 4th. Nice Roach Ravager going for the 3rd base, running into so many Lurkers though. Oh my god! A lot of Roaches go down. Not the cleanest trade. But with the help of the Ravagers, it looks like we can barely hold our own. And again, Eva has been stuck defending this entire time. He's slowly building up a higher end Hydra Muta count. Muta count? A Lurker count. The Lurker count is building up. Mixu going for the gold. They're still trying to pull Eva apart. As the game goes on, it's getting better and better for Eva, though. As the Lurker count is getting higher and becoming that much more difficult to break. Oh! We're taking a lot of hits. Eva repositioning. Is going to be repositioning here, rotating over towards the left-hand side. Vipers are on the way. A Hive tech on the way here for Mixu. He's still catching up. Like, again, Mixu might be maxed out, but the soup does lie. This is inflated supply with Roach Ravager. Eva has the more efficient army. And Mixu can't really make use of this. Despite being maxed out, the army can't do much. As Eva's slowly remaxing, slowly rebuilding. Mixu trying to get into his own Lurkers, is attempting to. We're still a ways off, as we're behind in the upgrades. Going for the wild, going for the hatchery. Not bad. Hatchery gets sniped. Nice pick off here out of Mixu. Let's snipe the hatchery. Use, they go for the natural. Getting a couple of drones, getting whatever we can, even catching queens. Not bad. 2 queens go down. We get a lurker as well. Eva, he's getting pulled apart. Mixu, he's barely pulling this off, busting into the natural base, getting to the mineral line. Drones are going down. Mixu, sorry, Eva, he was so close to maxing out. He was so close to stabilizing, but he's not there. Not anymore. We clean up almost every single lurker. We're down to 2. Well, 3 lurkers here in this position, I should say. But Eva got sunk down to 53 workers. He gets sunk down to 3 bases. We have Vipers, but barely an army to work with. And behind this, Mixu's on a gold. He has map control, he has a gold base. Mixu can afford these trades. And finally, Mixu is making his own Hydras and getting ready for his own lurker tech. And Eva's all in. At this point, we're completely all in. We're going for a massive counterattack. It's all or nothing for Eva. It's all or nothing, Papi. I mean, we have a lot of potential with this force. It's going to be how many lurkers? 6 lurkers now. 6 lurkers for Eva. We got on top of the base. Hatchery's going to go down. But Mixu does fan out. Getting ready for a surround for a sandwich. Lurkers are pushing in. So we have a fungal available. Oh, getting ready for the flank. Now with these Vipers, we can throw down Blinding Clouds, so Eva can out-trade Mixu. Ooh. Yeah, we do shut down the detection. Forcing Eva back home. Can we get the base? It's so low. We can. The hatchery, it's barely going to go down. And we force Eva all the way back home. Ay. Just getting dragged out of position. At the same time, lurkers are slowly pushing forward. We get the Blinding Cloud. But the fungal does connect. Do we have another Blinding Cloud? We don't. Oh, we did, but alas, we get on top of the lurkers. So many lurkers go down. We do focus on 2 of those Vipers as well. Nice pickups here out of Mixu. Again, Mixu just catching Eva. Inattentive. Reinforcements on the way. Eva does need some kind of buffer zone for his lurkers. Does need some detection as well. Do you get a yoink? Overseer is not with the main army. No detection. Nice borrow though. Big spine shots going off. But the defensive lurkers have arrived. We're getting within range. The hatchery is under fire. Eva making the best out of this army. Getting the best use out of it as the base does go down, and now we can go for the gold. Eva knocking down base after base. Yeah, the gold base is exposed. Here comes the duct. Get a lurker. Likewise, though, the one lurker of Mixu also going to be going down as well. Checking the units tab. Mixu has 0 lurkers. Uh-oh. 0 lurkers left. Eva gaining ground, pushing towards the natural. He's going for the kill move. If he breaks into the natural, that's going to be game. And Mixu cannot allow that to happen. Going for a big counterattack instead. Again, he knows he cannot push into the lurkers. Not like this. Not with this army. There are no Ravagers. We have 2 lurkers on the way. Roaches, they do hit the base. Yeah, Eva, he doesn't have any mining. Not any. Barely has any economy. The drones. The drones are going down. Likewise, Roach Warren gets sniped. No more roaches here from Mixu. Yeah, just Hydra production and lurkers. As with reinforcements, Eva, he will defend. And now we have access to the main. Lurker den's going down. Hydra den's exposed. Spire as well. Mixu soon he won't be able to make anything outside of Lings. Mixu going for the main army. Does catch the lurkers. No, the lurkers go down. We catch out the lurkers. Vipers coming in. There's only 1 Blinding Cloud. We do reposition. And it looks like Eva, he has done it despite the chaotic nature of this game. Despite being caught out by the mutas, he was able to get into his own Hydra Lurker Viper. Mixu, he was late to take into this composition. He was late to catch up with those lurkers, but it was still a very chaotic game. As another base goes down. And now Mixu, he has 0 lurkers remaining. 0 lurkers, 0 Ravagers, just 2 Vipers. Oh! Going for the yoink. Don't get the Viper. Yeah, just barely not. And Eva does leave the natural alone, making his way towards the army. Wants to try to collapse on in. We'll lose another lurker. But GG gets called. It becomes too much, and Eva, he will barely take the game. And Eva is our new King of the Hill. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Eva will take it. A very chaotic, very back and forth game there. When I saw the mutas wreaking havoc and killing bases and getting mineral lines, I thought it was over then and there, but no, Eva was able to stabilize, get into his own lurker tech. But even with Eva taking into lurkers, there was a moment where Mixu was able to snipe bases, snipe mineral lines. He was still able to pull Eva apart. The lurker count wasn't high enough to defend all the bases, but it was high enough to move out across the map and to engage with the main army. That Eva could do, and he made use of his army quite well there with his lurkers and his Viper tech, of course, as well. GG. GG. GG, well played. Eva will take it, and just like that, we have a new King of the Hill, but we're not done. We are not done. We still have plenty more matches ahead of us, and the question becomes, who is our next challenger? Who's coming up next here against the new King of the Hill? Who is it going to be? Eva, he's messaging me. He's like, mate, I did not deserve to win that game. He's like, I was dead, Papi. No shot. No shot. I'm like, I agree, you were dead. It's crazy. Crazy, Papi. Eva popping off, bringing it all the way back. And with that, we're getting ready for our next matchup. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be? Are going to be keeping up, and we still have a lineup of players ahead of us, and there we go. I've been seeing him for a while now, but it is going to be our Protoss player from the land of the Netherlands. It is going to be Eva versus Hydra coming up next. Let's go. Is going to be that ZVP question mark? What? So I'm asking Eva something. I'm like, is the Protoss Hopium phase over? Are we done with it? Are we done with the Protoss? Or do we come back to the Zerg? What's going on? Has Eva come back to us? I'm curious. I'm curious what he says. So Eba's saying if he was in shape with Protoss, he would play Protoss, but he hasn't laddered his Protoss for a little bit, so he's not feeling too confident. Eba not feeling too confident with his Protoss at the moment. Otherwise, he would. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. He's gonna be our Zerg player, and predictions will soon be open. They will soon be open in the chat. Oh god. We're getting there. Just catching up. Just catching up. Just kind of waiting for our player to arrive here. Waiting for our player. As a result, we might just go on a short break. Here. When we return, we will have our next series. So don't worry, we shouldn't be gone for too much longer. But once we have our players ready, we'll be jumping into our next match. We are nearing the end of the broadcast. Again, I apologize for the stream going down earlier. I do apologize. Again, the internet has been quite unstable for the past week. I don't know what it is, but specifically for the past week, every single day the stream has been going down. It's been killing us. It's been really rough, especially when it comes to viewership. So feels bad, man. But hopefully it should stand with us. It should be okay. Typically, once it goes down once, it stays on. And we have 5 matches left. 5 best of ones remaining here. Again, we're almost there. Towards the tail end of the tournament. For now, we're going to be going on a short break. When we return, we will have our next best of 1. See you soon. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. I apologize for the break, for the bit of a delay that we had, but we have our next opponent. It is going to be a ZVP between Eva and Rostock. Rostock is going to be stepping up to the plate to challenge the current king of the hill, and we'll see if he can bring it to him. We'll see if he can take that crown for himself. As spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the Ukrainian Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing CSO Esports. It is Rostock. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Red Zerg player from the land of the UK, representing the Platinum Heroes, going for a safe 15-15. It is Eva. Let's go. And if you're in the chat, predictions are currently open. They're open for a couple of minutes, so make sure you place your bets while you can as we settle into our best of one. Oh boy. Again, 15-15 opener here out of Eva. Very safe. The way that this works is that we're able to get our expansion on location without being pylon blocked, without being stopped by the probe. Likewise, we also go for a delayed gas geyser as a result. So with this, link speed is going to be a little bit later, and link aggression is going to be a little bit later as well, which is why just a bit of a safer start from Eva. Meanwhile, across the map, Gate Expand. Gate Expand, standard opener from Rostock. We're easing our way into Golden Oil. As a reminder, this map was the Challenger's map pick, map of choice. Loading into Golden Oil here, Rostock is. And I'm curious to see how he does bring this about. Again, it's been a while, it's been a couple of weeks since I've had the luxury of casting Rostock, so I'm excited to see how he does approach this matchup. How he does approach Eva. Here we go. So now we are going to be calming things down. Soon working towards our tech of choice. Likewise, Eva soon going to be expanding and taking his third. For now, just saturating on 2 bases. Getting his production and getting his tech up and running. And we're settling in. Calming things down here in the early game. Just calming things down. We'll see what kind of tech choice Rostock goes for. The Cybercore is done. And we'd have the pylon further back in the main base. Interesting. I mean, based on the positioning of the pylon, a Stargate would make sense on the right-hand side to move out across the map. Twilight Council could be thrown back a little bit further behind the mineral line, but yeah, there it is. It's going to be a Stargate opener here from Rostock. Standard play, should be into Oracles. We could go into a Void Ray or a Phoenix. That is viable. That is an option here for Rostock, but we don't see that too often. We'll see what we go for. As we are going to be rallied towards the third base, Stalker's on the way. We typically wouldn't get a Stalker and a Void Ray as they both have the same role, the role of hunting down the Overlord. Usually it's one or the other. And Eva is rushing into a fast lair. Oh my god, that is an insanely fast lair. Now, because of the delayed gas, we just skipped link speed. We just avoided link speed entirely, so no link speed here from Eva, but we rush into the lair instead. And I'm curious. On the one hand, I would have said that with a fast lair like this, Link Queen Night Stolen would make sense. But without link speed, now I can't say that. Gases are being taken, Roach Warren's on the way. So it looks to be a Roach Queen all-in instead from Eva. Very aggressive start here from our Zerg player. Creep is going to be spreading back at home. Rostock, likewise, before he expands, he's going for a very fast Twilight Council. Okay, this is interesting. I want to say this is Glaive Adepts, but this could be Charge as well. Like, we have options with how Rostock wants to approach this. Regardless, also an aggressive build out of Rostock as well. So aggression versus aggression. Who comes out on top? And do we go for the Glaives? Twilight Council is done. Yep, Glaives are on the way, so it's going to be Glaive Adepts out of Rostock. Now, I'm concerned for the Protoss player. I'm specifically concerned by the early Roach production from Eva. Roach Warren is done. And we can embrace those Roaches. Spore Crawlers being thrown down. We have the lair to get into Roach speed. Now, what this means is that once we defend against the Glaive Adepts, with Roach speed, we can go for a massive counterattack. Ooh, as the Oracle goes down. Massive pickup. The Oracle does fall, only getting 1 drone. We cancel speed. We're going for Spire. Oh, wait. Where are we going? What's going on? We cancel speed. We go for the Spire. We cancel the Spire. We go for speed again. We're a little bit indecisive, but I think a big part of that is because we were trying to get a read on how aggressive our opponent was being, and I do think that Roach speed is a correct call, as we have a massive wave of adepts on the way. Now again, with Roach speed, we can defend and then immediately counterattack, but we'll see how many losses we take. We'll see what kind of damage Rostock can get done. As Roaches are amassing, but we're not at critical mass yet. And the Adepts have arrived. The Adepts are here. You focus on one of the adepts. Second adept does go down. We get into the mineral line, but we do pull away in time, and we have a full wall here at the natural. Very nice moves from Eva. He does fully wall off. He does defend. Rostock shading and rotating over towards that mineral line once again. Doesn't commit. And I worry because Roach Speed has almost completed. It is almost done. Adept's able to turn the tables for a moment. Eba doesn't chase. We have a Hydrogen being thrown down, +1 range, droning up, getting into our gases. With this higher tech, with the Hydrogen, it looks like Eba is going to be going into Roach Hydra and getting into a 3-base economy. Looks like Eba is going to be settling in. As the Adepts do shade towards that 3rd base once again. Roaches are in position. Yeah, Eba is ready for it. Does shut it down. Yeah, likewise, we can collapse on top of these Adepts, and we're going to clean everything up. A nice clean up there from Eba. Shuts down the Adepts, and now we're embracing that Hydra production. Back at home, Rostock is looking quite vulnerable. This is the army. We have a couple of Sentries, we have an Immortal, we have a couple of soon-to-be Chargelots and Archons. But Rostock has lost a lot of momentum with that Glaive Adept push. Just did not do enough damage. As a result, we are vulnerable. Now, despite being vulnerable, we're on Golden Aura, and it's quite defendable here on 3 bases. Again, we have a ramp, and a very narrow ramp at that, so it's very difficult to push up this to break into the 3rd. Likewise, here on the right-hand side, it's also not the easiest to push into the natural on the 3rd base as well. So the defender's advantage is going to be a big factor here for Rostock. Despite that, Eva's moving out. For a moment. Did move out, going to be pulled back by the hallucination. 4th base is on the way. This 4th base is going to be much more exposed. And Eva is hoping for a fight at this 4th location. Out of range of the overcharge with the shield batteries of the defensive position. Rocks are being knocked down. This area is still quite choked up though, and yeah, we have to respect the sentries. Remember, no Ravagers. And we're not going to make any. Eba, he was just posturing. Behind this, he's droning up, getting a 4th base, and that is a Lurker Den on the way. So Eba is taking into Lurker Tech, taking into Hive Tech as well. Just building up towards his final form. Working towards Hydra Lurker Viper. Rostock going for his own move out. Eva is keeping up. Decent force fields when we catch roaches. Not the most impactful pickup. Likewise, we're getting on top of the high ground. Zelta going down. A couple of Hydras do get caught though. Regardless, the Concave is a little bit too good, and Eva will hold. He's going for the prism. Oh, doesn't quite get it. Doesn't get the prism, but does get 2 sentries. Not bad. 2 sentries go down. Rostock does establish the 4th base, but now we have the Lurker Den. The Lurker Den is done. The Hive is finishing up as well. Eba is going to be embracing those Lurkers. They're on the way. The Lurkers are morphing in. And Rostock doesn't really have the best answer to this. I mean, he's working towards a higher Immortal-based army, which is going to be ideal against Lurkers, but it's the size of the army that's concerning because Rostock has been on the back foot this entire time because of his more delayed 3rd base, because of the commitment to Glaive Adepts, because of even that move out as well. Rostock is not ready, and Eba is maxed. He's maxed out 200 supply with Lings, Roaches, Hydras, and Lurkers, and we're moving out. Bleeding off some of those Roaches. Still getting his main army ready. Hive upgrades are still on the way. So it looks like Eba is going to hold off. He's going to hold off. Rostock has some time to recover, to build up before those upgrades kick in. But Rostock does not want to move out. Not here, not now. Catch an Archon, we catch a Sentry. 2 Sentries even. Trading out more of these Roaches, which again is a better trade for Eba. War Prism does slip into the main base, but we have Spine Crawlers. Despite that, the Warp In will complete, and we're going for the Lurker Den. Oh my god! We go for the dive, and can we deny the upgrade? We cannot. Seismic Spines does finish up just in time. barely finished the upgrade. No, the whole position! No! Oh my god. Prism does survive. Barely does escape. And we're just collapsing on top of the army. We have some storms, but where are the zealots? The zealots, they're behind the army. Not like this. The High Templar go down. The Archons, the Immortals. And Rostock, he gets completely shut down. We have one Archon left and purely zealots. Meanwhile, in the main base, Hydras are lying in wait. The Prism trying to come in. But we're ready for it. Eba is ready. Eba's maxed. And we should soon be setting up a counterattack. The army does move out across the map. At the same time, the Prism likewise making its way towards the base. But the Hydras... Oh my god. Hydras are ready. Oh, the Prism taking a lot of damage, and no, it's gonna go down. Oh, barely doesn't. The Queen doesn't chase. Eba gets the expansion. Decent storms on the Hydras. Nice storms here on Eba's army. But we need more than just a couple of storms. As the overcharge is popped. Oh, the concave is brutal. We're getting on top of these lurkers, but the Hydras, they stutter step forward, they focus out the Immortals. We did clean up most of the lurkers, but the Hydras did punish. And behind this, we have a Spire on the way. That's going to be for the potential Sky Toss. Likewise, we're counterattack on the left-hand side. Running past the cannons into the mineral line. And we're getting a lot done. The mineral line is going down, and we want to get rid of these roaches anyway. Roaches are being cleaned up. More lurkers on the way. We get 13 probe kills. And Rostock desperately trying to expand, desperately trying to go for another base, but this expansion is so exposed. It's so vulnerable. Eba hasn't spotted it yet, is unaware. This ramp is brutal. Take some storms to the face. Eba repositioning. Oof. Storm once again. Oh my god, massive storm on the army. We blanket the Hydras, we blanket the lurkers, and this base is getting up and running. But it looks like we're still getting damage done. The overcharge does run out. Eba, he holds his ground. Even gains ground. Pushing forward, dragging the army within lurker range. But the Immortals, they do clean up a good amount of lurkers. Oh my god. Oh god, the punish. The punish is real. Claiming another Immortal. Eba's still just rallying across the map. Yeah, Lings have arrived. We're getting to the Immortals. 2 Immortals go down. And GG gets called. It looks like it's just too much damage, and Eba will take the game. Will take down the next challenger. GG. GG, well played. Eba will take it. A very intense game, especially with the initial openers, but in the end, Eba did come out on top. He was able to shut down the Glaive Adepts. With that, Eba was in control of the game. He did have a nice lead and was in the driver's seat for the most part. Rostock definitely had some moments, especially when it came to his Zealot run-bys and Zealot drops, and even some of his engagements with the lurkers weren't too bad. But Rostock was playing from behind. You know, he was behind an economy, behind a base, and he was playing catch-up for most of that game and was unable to really recover. And with that, GG. GG, well played. Eba will take it. And the question becomes, who's up next? Who is our next challenger? So we are setting up. Now, we were going to be featuring Hydra earlier, and Hydra is still going to be a viable option here. Likewise, I do see Night Phoenix lurking in the chat as well. Oh, for Jimmy! I see for Jimmy lunking as well. Oh, he's ready. I'm ready for the Eba Protoss and for Jimmy Zerg match. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for Jimmy to try to 12 pull Eba. Oh no. Not like this. Not like this. It's gonna happen. The nonsense, man. Time to forfeit. It's not gonna be for Jimmy. It looks like we have our answer. We have our next opponent. It is gonna be another ZVP, potentially. It is gonna be Eba versus UED Soldier. Let's go. But I'm sure for Jimmy wants some of that Eba action at some point here tonight. We'll see. We'll see if he does arrive. Not the UED Soldier. Oh no. Let's go. Yeah, the ZVPs do continue. Meanwhile, a big shout out to Likey X in the chat. Oh my god, Likey X, thank you so much. God, thank you so much for resubscribing for 2 months. For 2 months in a row. Thank you. Thank you. A bit of a newer subscriber. We appreciate the consecutive support. Thank you so much. Greetings from Germany. Oh, greetings. What's that phrase that For Jimmy taught me? It was something about the cock. It was like For Jimmy, he was teaching us some very, very important German a couple of weeks ago. Very important. Aye. God. As we're settling into our next game. Getting into our ZVP. I don't remember. It's fine, it's fine. You're an animal, Jimmy. You're an animal. Aye. Here we go. Looks like we have our map of choice. It's going to be Site Delta as our next game. And if you're in the chat, predictions. Predictions are now open. Get your gamba going in the chat for who you think will claim the series. Who will take this best of one? As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Site Delta, we have our green Protoss player representing CSO Esports. It is UED Soldier. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the red Zerg player. Our red Zerg from the land of the UK, representing the Platinum Heroes, the current king of the hill, with a 2-0 win streak under his belt. It is Eba. Speaking of, Eba is an animal and is moving out with a bit of a drone. Oh no. We're moving out for a proxy hatch across the map. The drone should not be out here. Not at this time. It's too early. It's too suspect. UED Soldier does come in with the probe scouts. We'll try to get a read on what's going on. Looks like Eba is planning to expand back at home. The drone has arrived. And can we get the hatch block? Oh, we don't get it. Oh, the probe is here just in time. And the hatch block is denied. The Nexus goes down. And oh my god, UED Soldier. He's crazy. He's cracked. He denies the expansion again. Hatchery gets thrown down in the main. Back at home, Eba likewise going to be expanding as well. The hatchery is on the way, but we did stumble our way into this proxy hatch, and we weren't able to delay the expansion. And we'll see how Eba makes use of this. Bearing in mind there's no early pool. There's no early spawning pool from Eba. It's just a hatchery, I imagine, designed to disrupt the build of UED Soldier. To force boys off the mineral line, but UED Soldier, he doesn't really react to this, not too hard. He's just going to be mining here in his main and settling into his own build. We are settling in. And I'm curious if Eba will let this finish, and if it does, I'm curious what he does with it as well. I mean, back at home, we have our gas, we have our spawning pool still on the way. Hatchery's taking some damage. And do we let it finish? I mean, at this point, I think we have to. I mean, the spawning pool is about to finish, so we can make use of the larva. Yeah, there we go. We have the cancel. We have the cancel. Like, UED Soldier, he called Eba's bluff and barely reacted, only pulled 2 probes, and will defend. UED Soldier will defend. Back at home, Eba trying to stabilize, droning up, taking his natural. His third base is going to be delayed. And we'll see what kind of game state we end up in. I mean, at least UD Soldier was forced to make a Zealot. True. I mean, there is a Zealot now. Oh, but that's the Twilight Council. That is a Twilight Council on the way. UD Soldier going to be doubling down with the aggression, working towards either Glaives or DTs. We have pulled out of gas. Glaives are on the horizon. 4-gate Glaives on the way here for UD Soldier. Meanwhile, Eva rushing into a 3-minute lair. Oh my god, once again. Fast lair out of Eva. We saw something similar in game number or in the previous game. Roach Warren's on the way. So once again, Eva will have access to fast Roach speed for a Roach counterattack, potentially. And we at least have the Roach Warren. Meanwhile, that's more gates. This is not 4-gate Glaives. Oh my god. We're getting up to 6 gateways. Okay, we're just doubling down. We're going for a 2-base all-in. Yeah, 6 gates here from UD Soldier. We're pulling back into gas. I was about to say that we can't afford 6 gateways with only 2 and 2. We go back up to 3 and 3 here in the main base. Taking extra gas, going for the Robo, going for the War Prism, potentially Immortal Production as well. And UD Soldier is doubling down. Eva going for a ninja? What's going on? Eva, calm down. It's an all-in. We need the reinforcements back at home, Papi. Oh my god. We have the money for it. I'm waiting to see if Eva... Yep, there we go. He commits to the ninja base. I'm not too sure if this is going to help us much at all. I think it's going to hurt us more than anything. So we're going to need reinforcements as quickly as possible. Here we go. We have a massive wave of adepts on the way. 6 adepts in production. They are warping in. And Eva back at home. Can we keep up with this? We're going to have some roaches on the way. We have roach speed, of course. That's going to be a massive wave of adepts. And Eva, it looks like he will confirm. Yeah, he sees all the adepts. Does get eyes on this. As that is 14 adepts already. And remember, we can warp in 6 adepts at a time. Oh boy, that's a lot of adepts, Pappy. That's a lot of adepts. Eva's setting up. A roach is on the way. Adepts have arrived. They're checking for the 3rd base. Alas, there is none. That does make it easier for Eva to defend, true. He can split up between his main and his natural. Adepts, they threaten a shade. They check for the 3rd base location. They confirm there's nothing here. It is elsewhere. War Prism is denied. Eva, for now, he's holding on. He's surviving. Adepts, do we commit to the shade? Ooh, not quite. Getting some chip damage on that Roach Warren. Eva started stepping forward, catching a couple of those adepts. UD Soldier doesn't quite commit yet. Prism does overextend. Oh my god! Oh, massive pickoff. The Prism goes down. War Prism does fall, and back at him, UD Soldier, he starts Immortal production. Immortals are on the way, and UD Soldier, it looks like he's going to be expanding. He does opt to expand. Alas, we still have to keep up with the adepts. We're still stuck at home. Spire is on the way. Oh, the ninja base! Let's go! Going for the hidden spire. Some more adepts are in production. Again, Eva, he wants to break out, but these adepts are keeping him pinned back at home. So these roaches have to calm down. Getting caught out by the adepts. Pulling away. Eva trying to split up his forces. Again, moving out while defending back at home. He does get eyes on the 3rd. Oh, just spinning creep a little bit too late. As expansion has been thrown down. But the Spire is about to finish. We're almost there. We're almost done. Getting up to, what, 500 gas. It's going to be 5 meters, potentially 6. That is going to be enough to one-shot pros. More than enough to one-shot workers. UD Soldier is not quite ready for this. Adepts are hitting around. Prism has been rebuilt. And mutas are on the way. That is going to be 7 mutas for Eva. And they could attempt to hunt down the Prism first, but they should be going for the mineral lines. As, do we have any anti-air? We have one Stalker. We have a couple of sentries at the third. Nothing in the main, sorry, nothing at the natural, nothing in the main base either. So this is the anti-air. We have one Stalker. We have 5 sentries. Oh boy. We're not ready for this. The mutas, they have arrived. They're headed for the mineral lines. Send it, Bappy. Blinkers on the way. Shield batteries as well. We hit the natural. Probes are going down, and UD Soldier is all in. It's completely all in at this point. We do catch a muta. Not bad. One muta goes down. And it's all or nothing for UD Soldier. And Eba, can we hold? Can we survive? Muta's coming back around. They do turn back. Ideally going for the sentries. Going for the prism. Up! First sentry goes down. We get 1. We get 2. We get 3. Barely 3 sentries as well. And there's just not enough anti-air. We're going for the prism. The prism will go down. No more reinforcements. And the mutas survive. Yeah, that just goes to show just how little anti-air there was with the main army. And UD Soldier, he turns around. Oh boy. There's still nothing in the main. Oh god, there's no cannon, no shield battery. The main base is exposed. Thankfully, we have 3 Stalkers. Thankfully. Stalkers do warp in. Mutas, they don't care about your shield battery. They can one-shot probes. Get another 5 probe kills. Blink is still not done. We do catch another muta. Not bad. Another muta does go down at the same time. Hallucination across the map. Eva is maxed out on 3-way saturation. We've maxed out on Roach Ravager muta. So we've actually made a couple of extra mutas. Eva going to be consolidating his army. And this is still going to be a close fight. UD Soldier, he may not have the best economy, but his army size is quite comparable to that of Eva, especially with all these sentries. Oh, the prism! Oh my god. Prism takes some damage. We pull away. Calm down, Pappy. Calm down. Don't want to lose it again. Ooh, as we force the on siege. Vile's going to be connecting. Another big warp in. Mutas instead, they go for a big counterattack, going for the main base. And they hit the main at the same time. UD Soldier pushing in, gaining ground, pushing onto creep. Viles, they don't quite connect. They connect with the main army. We catch a couple of Roaches and Ravagers, not bad. The Ravager going down, another big wave of reinforcements. Mutas, they have control of the main base. They hit the natural as well. Viles are connecting. But do we have enough Roaches? Stalkers are gaining ground. Banelings do complete. They're trying to get on top of the Adepts, and they will crash in. Massive connections. But the Immortals are standing strong, and the Immortals, they're breaking through, and it looks like UD Soldier may have too much. He does push towards that natural. Back-at-home is losing everything. Every probe is going down, but it doesn't matter. It's not about the probes. It's about the main base. It's about the main army. Oh, the Immortals, they are looking exposed. And here come the reinforcements. Eba is getting on top of the Immortals. 2 Immortals go down. We're down to 2 Immortals remaining, and it looks like Eba, he has held. We clean up the prism. GG gets called, and Eba will survive. The hell did I just watch? And take down UD Soldier. GG. GG, well played. Eba will take it off of a kind of failed proxy hatch initially into a ninja base with a hidden spy. There was a lot that went on in that game. There was a lot that went on, but GG. GG, well played. Eba will take it and will remain the king of the hill. GG. GG, well played. Eba will take it. Oh my god. So apparently UD Soldier beat Cyril recently. Eba, he's imparting a bit of a story on us. Apparently UD Soldier, he beat Cyril on the ladder with Nexus first into 6-gate Glaive Adepts, which is similar to what we just saw. True, is similar. And Eba, he's like, okay, so what if I block the hatchery, block the Nexus? As we saw, it didn't quite work. The Nexus wasn't quite blocked, so then Eba improvised, is basically what he's saying. He failed to block the Nexus, so he improvised from there. He let Papi take the wheel. He cooked, Papi, he cooked. And with that, GG. GG, well played. We're getting ready for our next series here. Who is our next challenger going to be? Who's up next? Who is up next? Since I thought I overcooked. Oh, almost overcooked. Here we go. We are getting ready. And we're kind of running out of matches here. There's not too many more series ahead of us. We are nearing the end, and it looks like we have another Protoss opponent. It is going to be Eba versus Hydra. Eba versus Hydra in the next series. Let's go. Looks like Hydra has chosen his map, and we're going to be loading into Oceanborn. We actually haven't casted a game on Oceanborn tonight. It's been, we've been featuring some of these other maps instead. Post Youth, Side Delta, even Eternal Empire, Cosmic Sapphire, but yeah, for the first time here tonight, Oceanborn. Let's go. Unless I'm forgetting, which is possible. It's been a long night. It's been a long broadcast. I say long broadcast, around 3 or so hours. But we have our 13th best of 1. And 2 more left after this. We're almost there. As predictions are now open in the chat, place your bets on who you think will claim this series. Who will claim this best of 1? As spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have our red Zerg player from the land of the UK, the current King of the Hill with 3 wins under his belt. It is Eba. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player from the land of the Netherlands. It is Hydra. Not to be confused with the other Hydra, the Korean Zerg Hydra. It's all good. Here we go. We were going to be featuring Hydra earlier, but was otherwise preoccupied. But now we do have him before us. Have him raring and ready to go. For now, going for the hatch block across the map. Forcing the unnatural natural. And Hydra's more known for his aggressive style and his aggressive tendencies, and I'm curious if we're going to be embracing that here in this series. I mean, we already saw a wild build last game with 6 Gate Glaive Adepts. Can we top that? Can we even get near to that? Let's go. 8 Gate Glaive Adepts. Let's just double down. Keep going. More gateways, more Adepts. As behind this, Eba just going hatch gas pool. With the unnatural natural. Likewise, Hydra going for a gate expand back at home. Nothing too crazy. Standard openers for the time being. Openers are going to be standard. And we'll see what direction Hydra takes us in. We have seen a lot of fast lair builds out of Eba here tonight against both of his Protoss opponents. Fast layer into a Roach Warren. We'll see if he does embrace that here again, if it's not a Stargate opener. Big if on that one. As the pylon is done, and we're getting ready for our tech of choice. Warp Gate is on the way. Oh, there we go. There's the cancel on the Warp Gate, and we throw down the Stargate. So it is a standard opener here out of Hydra, going for a Stargate. Getting into Oracles, I imagine. into map control into a third base. We'll see if Hydra does throw down an earlier Twilight Council for a faster Glaive Adept build. That is still on the table here for Hydra. Is it still available? As Adept does move out. Threads the mineral line. And, oh, doesn't quite get the drone. Barely not. Well, we'll pick off a Ling. Not bad, getting 2 Lings even. 2 Lings go down, Adept does retreat. Shading in towards the main. Just making sure we get a scout off, making sure we get eyes on any extra gases. Any shenanigans on the way. So another Adept has arrived. The Lings, though, they're going to be able to punish this at least a little bit, getting some hull damage. Solid movement here out of Hydra. Does preserve the Adepts, get the hell out of there. Behind this, Oracle's on the way. And we should be expanding. Here, third Nexus, now going to be thrown down. We are going to be settling into a longer game. Calming down with settling in. Oracle making its way towards the third. Queens are in position. We have 2 queens at the third base. Likewise, we have soon to be 2 queens in the main. Spore does finish up in time. And we have the tools to defend against the Oracle. Despite that, we get 1 drone kill. Just the 1. 1 drone goes down. Back in the main base. Getting into additional Oracles. Likewise, Lings, they will threaten the third, but we have Adepts in position, so the third base is safe and sound. And it looks like we are not going for any kind of fast tech. We're not rushing into Glaives, we're not rushing into Blink. We're playing macro. Okay. For the first time tonight. Yeah, let's go. I'm ready for it. I'm going to say that I guess the TVT that we had earlier did go into a 4-base setup, but it was a very chaotic game. Despite that, very aggressive. As the Adepts, they shade into the main, they do wreak havoc from the high ground. At the same time, Oracles try to hit the third. But the Queens are in position, the Oracles are zoned away. And the Adepts, they don't get much done. They get 2 drone kills so far, but not much more than that. Well, they do shade into the natural, though. Oh! Getting an extra drone. Getting 2, getting 3! Eba a little bit distracted, a little bit inattentive. We get 5 drone kills. Not a bad trade here from Hydra. I'm sure was hoping for a little bit more. 4 Adepts for 5 drones. And back at home, that is going to be +1 and Blink. Working towards the mid game. We're done with the Adept aggression. And at least the Oracles did survive. Meanwhile, back at home, Eba taking a 4th base, droning up, taking into Roaches, into the almost said Forge, into the Evo Chamber. To upgrades. I guess the next big sign for me is to keep an eye on Hydra to see if he does take extra gases, if he does go for a 4th, or if he doubles down on a 3-base all-in. So Oracles, they hit the natural base, and they do get a lot of drone kills. The Queens are out of position, and just the 1 Queen, 5 more drones go down. Queens are here at the 3rd base instead. Not bad. And that is a gateway explosion. Oh my god. That's a lot of gateways. But it looks like we're not going to be doubling down. Okay, we have a gateway explosion just for SimCity. We have extra gases on the way, and we're taking up. That is a 2nd Forge, 2nd Robo. The Bay is on the way as well. So Hydra's just walling up and securing himself. Most likely he'll be skipping some warp ins and taking a 4th base and working towards upgrades, disruptors, Colossus. Strap yourselves in. Stalkers are moving out just for some map control. They're poking in. Vying for that creep. Keeping Eba pinned back at home. And has to be very careful not to get surrounded. Stalkers do back off. Meanwhile, Eba is just taking up. He's taking up in towards a hive. We have the infestation, we have the lurker den, soon to be hive tech, soon to be hive tech lurkers as well. Eva is also getting to its final form. What I will say about Hydra as he's getting into double Colossus production is this fourth base does feel quite late. The fourth base does feel a little bit delayed here for the Protoss. Speaking of delay, we're going to get a surround. We force a cancel. An even greater delay on this fourth. Ay, ay, ay. So Hydra doesn't have his cleanest way into a longer game. Is working on it. But because of this, Eva is going to be able to get into his Hive Tech. Spine Crawl is being thrown down, soon to be a 5th base. Lurker Den about to finish. And here come the first wave of Lurkers. Lurkers are on the way. Likewise, Hydra is still not expanding. Okay, so I guess we are going for a committed move out. We're waiting for the 3rd and 4th Colossus, and we can move out with 4 Colossus. This is a little bit old school. We saw this be quite popular last year, like early 2023, even 2022. But Showtime and many of the other Protoss players in the altitude map pool were embracing this kind of slower style where you build up on 4 Colossus and move out across the map. This did fall out of favor just because of how common this was. Very often, Zerg players would rush into Hive and specifically rush into Vipers to deal with this. But Hydra playing old school, moving out across the map. Does attempt to push in, but the Lurkers are ready. We have our Lurkers. Hydra rotating over towards the right hand side at the same time, so run by pushing towards the left. But Roaches are in position. Okay, the Roaches, they will shut down the Zealots at the same time. We're gaining ground. Attempting to get on top of those Lurkers. Speaking of Vipers, there it is. The first Viper is on the horizon. Viper's on the way. And with the help of the Viper, we can shut this down. But we do need a little bit more time. So far, good swipes. A lot of Lings are falling. One Lurker does fall as well. At the same time, Ling run by doesn't get much done. Eva trying to cash out the army. Trying to set up a surround. So far is keeping up. It's only going to be... Oh, we have a second Viper on the way. We're gathering energy. Oof. One Lurker almost goes down the transfuse. Oh my god, barely keeps it alive. But the Colossus, they do take the fight. Shutting down a lot of those Hydras. At the same time, Eva trying to set up a surround. Oh, but this is going to be a little bit awkward. The Lings are going down. Roaches as well. We do get on top of some of those Colossus, though. Colossus and the Immortals. But that was a rough trade for Eva. Again, the surround was a little bit mistimed. But we have Vipers. We have Vipers. And can we go for the yoinks? Not quite. Not quite. It looks like Hydra may just have too much. We get on top of the Lurkers. They're all going to go down. The Vipers, they're too little too late. The Lurker count is cleaned up, and it looks like Hydra is going to do it. So Eva, he was on an insane win streak throughout the course of this tournament, but alas, it ends here and now. GG gets called, and Hydra will take the game and become our new King of the Hill. GG. GG, well played. Very patient play there out of Hydra. Sure, he didn't have a 4th. Sure, he was basically 3 base all in. He had a 4th Nexus on the way, but no saturation at the 4th base. It was all about that 4 Colossus move out. It was all about the army movement and the army control. And as we saw, Eva just barely wasn't ready in time. The attempted surround was lackluster. It was a little bit brutal there. Being caught out. Likewise, the Vipers were a little bit too late. We spoke about it, but if we had Vipers a little bit earlier, or if we were able to buy a little bit more time, then we would be able to shut that down. And with that, GG. GG, well played. Ooh. Oh. GG, well played. Hydra will take it. And do we have our next opponent? I think we do. I just got messaged by Young Yakov. I think... We might have our next opponent. Oh, my apologies. It's not going to be young Yakov. Jimmy? Out of left field? With the steel chair? Hold on. Okay, we have our next challenger. Okay. We have our next challenger. It is going to be for Jimmy versus Hydra. Let's go. Let us go. But yeah, Ebo was just letting us know that he was lamenting a little bit about fighting off of creep. He was like, I just had to be more patient, Papi. It's like, yes, that's he went for the patience move of just moving out. But it's all good. We're jumping into our next series, into our next best of one. Oh, let's go. And if you're in the chat, predictions are open as spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Eternal Empire. We have the German Protoss player, the green Protoss, representing the Platinum Heroes. It is for Jimmy. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player himself, the current king of the hill, bringing down Eva earlier, getting his first win. Can he get another? It is Hydra. Let's go. Let us go. Again, I was thrown for a little bit of a loop because after that win, young Yakov, he messaged me like a bunch of Hydra emotes. And I was like, oh, are we coming out? No, the answer is no, for Jimmy instead. He does step into the ring. And we're loading into Eternal Empire of all maps. Now, if you're a bit of a newer viewer of StarCraft, if you're maybe weren't around a couple of years ago, you may be a little bit unaware, but Eternal Empire was a part of the map pool back in 2020, I want to say. 2020 coming into the circa of 2021. But many years ago at this point, at the beginning of EPT, Eternal Empire was an active ladder map. And it's been a while. It's been a couple of years since we have been able to embrace this map. But in this tournament, we feature an extended map pool. We do have extra maps that are a part of the map pool that players have voted on, players have agreed upon, and this is one of them. Just a way to spice things up, in a way to, yeah, just kind of spruce up the map pool overall. There are some maps that people are not too fond of in the new map pool, so may as well bring in some older maps instead. So a nice compromise here for OSC events. As for Jimmy goes for the fake proxy pylon. Now, fake proxy pylons, and I mean real proxy pylons as well, are quite powerful in this map. Eternal Empire is massive. I don't know if you noticed. The mini-map doesn't do it justice, or maybe it does. It's a huge map. There's a lot of bases to take, a lot of space on the map as well. It is difficult to really get eyes on any real or even fake proxy. Pylon is thrown down, and Hydra is aware that the pylon is missing. Hydra is aware, back at home, going for the sentry. Here's going to be the initial sentry opener into Stalker. Hydra will deflect, and is looking to expand. Meanwhile, Hydra throwing down the question mark spray. You love to see it. But our players should be expanding, should be working towards our naturals. Likewise, when it comes to how large this map is, it's quite defendable. We have two major Zelnaga towers that cover the main attack pods as well in the center of the map. Likewise, a very narrow choke point here, plus a ramp leading into the natural. Does make it quite difficult to actually push in and to commit to aggression. Does make it difficult for Jimmy instead, rotating over towards the left hand side, making its way towards the natural. Hydra is in position and does get some extra shots off, and he does punish for Jimmy. Oh my god, one Stalker goes down, second Stalker as well, under fire. Now we are distracting the main army. We're dragging Hydra out of position, and here come the Adepts. The Adepts are sneaking in, but Hydra, he recalls back home just in time. Adepts have arrived, but we are ready for it. Are ready. Adepts, they come into the shade, but we're lying in wait. One probe goes down, we get two. We get three. Not bad. 3 probe kills for 2 Adepts. Not the worst trade out of for Jimmy. But what's concerning to me isn't the Adepts, it is the Stalkers. And before Jimmy, he lost the Stalker. He did take a lot of hull damage on the other as well. Back at home, we are expanding, we are settling in. For Jimmy, going for the faster tech, going for a blink. Meanwhile, Hydra, likewise, one step behind, also working towards that Twilight Council as well. And Blink is on the way. We see Hydra fanning out his hallucinations. We have probes, we have phoenixes. Getting a read on what's going on. Again, making sure that there is no proxy. Likewise, we can see, oh god, 4Jimmy doing the same with his own probe scouts, with his own hallucinations. And so far, our players are being honest. Hydra did miss the third. He didn't quite scout in this direction, and the third base is getting up and running. 4Jimmy going for a bit of a more macro approach here. Taking a faster third base. Hydra not too far behind, though. Thinking about his own third. The Depths are being chased down. Shut down the hallucination. Likewise, the Depths. Ooh, caught out by the Stalkers as well. Hydra is all over this. Gets one Adept and almost the other. We get one probe kill. We shade into the main base. But we get the full surround. This third was delayed by quite a bit from the side of Hydra. It was quite heavily delayed. But at least it's in production. We're getting there. Are getting there. As 4Jimmy is settling in, has the economic advantage, bearing in mind had a much faster third, is chronoing out probes. And will have that economic lead that will translate into a larger army as well. The pressure is now on Hydra to fight back, to get some kind of economic damage. Again, this entire game, it's been Adept shading into the main base of Hydra, into the natural. It's been 4Jimmy being the aggressor. And Hydra has been stuck at home. When can we move out? That's the other scary thing about this map is if you move out, you do leave yourself a little bit vulnerable. I mean, we do have recalls available, true. Could always recall. But it can be difficult here as 4Jimmy will take another expansion. We might be here for a while. We might... Oh, no. We've costed many a late game on Eternal Empire. It is eternal. For good reason. Many a late game. We're not there yet, but we're working towards it. That's where Jimmy does rotate over. His army is spotted. Hydra can respond. At the same time, 4Jimmy sneaking into the natural. He distracts the main army, and the Depths do shade in, and they can one-shot probes. They can one... There we go. Getting 1, 2, soon to be 3 probe kills. Not bad. Oh, getting a 4th and a 5th. Yeah, 5, 6 probes go down. Very nice damage. At the same time, 4Jimmy also hits the 3rd base, and he's pulling Hydra apart. He's not getting game-ending damage, but it all slowly does add up over time. 4Jimmy already had the economic advantage and also has that 4th base on the way, so he still maintains that economic lead. And behind this, we have a +2, we have a gateway explosion, immortal production. And from here, we can even work towards a higher form of tech, either Chargelet, Archon, or even into Disruptors. But now it looks like it's going to be Archons. Archons and Chargelets. I mean, it can be risky taking into Disruptors. Not the most stable of units. The most stable of play styles, but that's going to be available here. Meanwhile, Hydra instead working towards Glaives. Building up his Glaive Adept army. Settling back in. I'm not gonna lie, I miss this color scheme. Like, like this map, I'm getting like nostalgia. It's been a while. Like, I'm getting flashbacks of like siege lines and like Skytos Tempest-based armies. Like, oh god, the memories. So now we are settling in. Fujimi rotating over towards that northern base. Fujimi does have the slight army lead. Pushing into the shield battery, does have to respect it. Does back up. Hydra in position. Fujimi just testing the waters. Behind this, taking another expansion. +2 is done for Fujimi, so he does have the upgrade advantage. We spoke about disruptors before, and there it is. Disruptors are on the way. We only have the one robo, so we're only making one at a time. But there it is. Second robo has now been thrown down. Getting ready for double disruptor. Hydra moving out. And does get on top of the Immortal. Yeah, massive pick off the Immortal. Does go down. And Fujimi has to get the hell out of here at the same time we're going for the drop into the main. The Archons and the Warp in. Speaking of, there it is. And Hydra turns around. He does turn back home. Probes are falling. And Fujimi is not punished. Forced to recall. Getting 15 worker kills in the main base. And amidst all this chaos, Fujimi can try to hit another expansion. As Zelta being cleaned up, Archons as well. Fujimi going for the third. Gets a shield battery. Not much else. Threatens the base. Oh, gets the prism. Oh my god. Jimmy. It's crazy. Snipes the war prism, snipes the shield battery. And that, I believe, is a third robo. Third robo's on the way, getting to triple disruptor production. And pushing into disruptors is not an easy thing to do, but that is a hefty army. That's a lot of adepts and a lot of immortals. Here we go. Hydra, he's had enough defending. You can see Hydra has a super maxed army, in a sense. Like Hydra, he's down to 44 workers, but he has a massive army supply. Oh my god, but as he moves out, once again he gets punished. Zealots, they hit the natural. The army races back home. Zealots trickling into the main. And the Stalkers, they want that Nexus. It's low. Uh-oh. It's low from earlier. The Nexus is under fire. Can we get it? Oh my god. Not quite. The base does survive. We have cannons in the main. That's going to be Hydra's answer. And Fujimi has done so much to just slow down the push. It's still a terrifying army. It's still 4 immortals. But a couple of good Novas will make short work of this. Fujimi is getting ready. Again, the supply does lie. You can see the supplies are close, but really Hydra has a massive... He's up almost 50 army supply. It's insane. He's all in. Hydra's completely all in. Here comes a Nova. No, the choke point. Oh my god, with the splits. We avoid the Novas. Grazes the army. 2 more disruptors behind this. Another Nova going off. Ooh, will not connect. But you can see massive connections. Oh my god. We shut down the Adepts. We shut down the Immortals. And it looks like Fujimi, he will clean up this army. The power of the Disruptor. The Novas are too good. The Falls, they're insane. They're massive. And Fujimi is popping up. Cleans up the army in a couple of Novas. And he will clean up what little is left. GG gets called, and Fujimi will fight back and be our new King of the Hill. GG. Oh my god. GG, well played. Insane Purification Novas there out of Fujimi. The first 2 were a little bit lackluster. Like Hydra was able to split, he was able to avoid it. But the next wave, the next set of Purification Novas were insane. And that's the downside of that kind of army composition. Adept Immortal, very immobile. You don't have Blink to avoid it. You don't have the Prism to pick everything up, as there's just so much to pick up. It's just so vulnerable to that kind of style, to that unit. And with that, congratulations, Fujimi does take the win and does take the crown. And now we're getting ready for, oh my god, we are getting ready for our final best of 1. Do need a moment to set things up, but there we go. We have another PvP. We have a returning player. We have 1 revive here, as Night Phoenix was down. He was our first player knocked out of the tournament, knocked out of OSC King of the Hill, but now he has returned. He has returned. Predictions are now open, and we are jumping into our final best of 1. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Golden Aura, we have our Ukrainian Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing Astronaut Esports. It is Night Phoenix. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the German Protoss player himself, the Green Protoss, representing Platinum Esports, the current King of the Hill. It is 4Jumi. And I'll get on the name. I'll get on it. Don't. Night Phoenix is a bit of a cat girl. Can confirm. Is an uwu enjoyer, but there we go. Just setting up the UI. Making sure everyone's aware of who's playing. We are settling in. Okay, for now, it's going to be standard openers. What looks to be 2-gate versus 2-gate. But this is going to be the final PvP of the night. The final series of OSC King of the Hill 180. That's a lot of weeks. That's a lot of King of the Hills. That's a lot of StarCraft. Here's a lot of StarCraft. And there it is. There's the 2 gateways from Night Phoenix. Likewise, 2 gateways out of 4Jumi. Probes are moving out. And we'll see if we commit to any crazy pylon placements. It looks like 4Jumi is going to be hiding the probe towards the bottom left. We are going for what looks to be a fake proxy pylon. I mean, this wouldn't be a bad position for a proxy Stargate. We'll keep an eye on 4Jumi as the pylon is thrown down. Meanwhile, Night Phoenix slips into the main and will confirm, hold up, where is your second pylon? It should be in the main, and it isn't. I mean, we should be checking further back in the main base. It is not uncommon to hide it here on the right-hand side in the fog of war. Oh no! Oh, we got a surround! We got a full surround. The probe does go down, and Night Phoenix is now in the dark. Uh-oh. Is it a real proxy or is it a fake? Is it a fake? Night Phoenix is unaware. We are going for a double adept opener. Second probe moves out, and you can see here that we are scouting the right-hand side. We're looking for the proxy. Sending out 2 probes even. And this is already a win. This is already a good start for 4Jumi. He's forcing 2 extra workers to be pulled off the mineral line. 2 extra workers are scouting and not mining back at home. So a nice start. But it looks like we will end up scouting. We do check the Zolnaga, but we don't quite confirm. The probes, they're looking, they're hunting. Meanwhile, back at home, Twilight Council is going to be the Twilight Council for Night Phoenix. Meanwhile, 4Jumi is expanding. Uh-oh. And do we commit into a 1-base all-in? Are we going for a delayed expansion, or is Night Phoenix going for a 3rd gateway? Depse shade into the main. Probes are going down, not bad. We get 3 probe kills. We get 4. We get 5. Oh my god, this is getting a bit out of hand. 5 probes do go down at the same time across the map. We got 2 probe kills as well. We do deal a blow to the economy, but yeah, we're setting up. The probe is in position, and we throw down a proxy pylon. Glaives! Oh, that I was not expecting. Night Phoenix is expanding, but we are committing into Glaive Adepts. Okay. Let him cook. let him cook, Papi. Let him cook. The pylon is going to be thrown down. We're setting up for the proxy. More adepts have arrived. We're getting up to 6 adepts here for Night Phoenix. We've already done a good amount of economic damage. Threatening another shade. We get in! Oh, we barely... No! Oh my god! A bit of a fumble defense there from 4Jumi. A lot of chaos ensuing, but we're okay. We're good. We do hold on. Meanwhile, the gateway is on the way. Additional adepts have arrived. And I love that Night Phoenix is staggering his shades. Going 3 adepts at a time. Yeah, just non-stop shades here. And it's going to force the shield battery to finish. Oh! Oh, there we go. We do barely wall off in time. We do cancel just in time. We do manage to wall off. Meanwhile, back at home, are getting to our rover production. Glaives is now done. We're diving in. We are pushing forward, getting us over the sentries, getting us over the stalkers. We get not even 1 stalker kill. We pop the overcharge, and 4Jumi holds. 4Jumi does hold. The power of the overcharge does keep us alive, but the shield battery has to finish. Oh, that is a brutal completion there for 4Jumi. Shield battery does complete. Phoenix is aware. And back at home, I imagine we're going to be working towards immortal production. As adepts, they do threaten another shade. Mad King splitting up his units. We do have some nice force fields, though. Yeah, we shut down the adepts. Two of them go down. We commit to the shade, but this is not the commitment we were looking for. The shade does finish, and we shut down the adepts. Two of them barely escape. They barely recall back home. And just like that, Forjumi has a worker lead. He's able to have an army lead. Expanding, taking a third base. Forjumi is looking solid. And he even scouts the proxy. Forjumi is aware. Even catching the Stalkers. Stalkers move out. Gateway is depowered. And we do get into the mineral line, getting a couple of extra workers. 3 more probes go down. We get, oh my god, we get into the main! We shade into the main base, and okay, we're making up for it. Now, Phoenix may have lost a lot of those adepts, but gets how many probe kills in total? 13. 13 probe kills. For 12 adepts, again, not the best trade. Meanwhile, Night Phoenix going for a gateway explosion. We have 2 extra gateways here on the low ground. We have an extra gateway here on the high ground as well. It is going to be a 2-base, 6-gate all-in. Glaive adepts, Immortals, and Sentries. Oh boy, it's going to be all or nothing here for Night Phoenix. And Forjumi has to be careful not to be overly greedy, as Forjumi, he's taking into Disruptors. Bold move out of Forjumi. I mean, I kind of like it, and I'm kind of scared of it. On the one hand, if you remember, we spoke about what happened against Hydra. We spoke about the Purification Overs and the Disruptors, and how well they performed against an immobile army like Immortal Glaive Adept, right? Like, so Disruptors are going to be ideal. They're going to be ideal against this army just because it's going to be so difficult to avoid those Novas. At the same time, we need time. We need time to get into Disruptor production. Like, we have none so far. Forjumi does blink in, gets punished. 2 Stalkers going to be going down. And Forjumi, he dives into the main. Bold move by Forjumi. He depowers the Robo, getting a second pylon in the main as well. And he gets the hell out of here. The Prism! No! The Prism goes down. Immortal as well. Massive pickoff. Forjumi is trapped. He's going to have to recall back home. But that was some massive damage. The Prism, the Immortal, depowering the Robo, getting a couple of probes and buying time. There's that recall. We got 1 Stalker. And back at home, here come the Disruptors. Disruptors are on the way. That is exactly what we need against this kind of army. Yeah, the Disruptor has arrived. It was a risky move here by Forjumi, but it has paid off. Once again, moving out. He's got eyes on the third. We'll force a cancel, but Night Phoenix doesn't really care about the third base. Now, what I'm concerned about, Forjumi just recalled. Forjumi did just recall, and does he have enough at home to defend? He's racing back. Racing back home. Night Phoenix is pushing in. But we have that Disruptor. And we're setting up a surround. Oh god, we're trying a little bit messy. A little bit messy, but the Nova goes off and we do connect. Nice split there from Night Phoenix, but the Immortal goes down. We have 1 more Nova left. Nova goes off. Yeah, connecting with the Sentry. And we're just picking the army apart. No major connections as the force field. Oh my, the force fields. Oh my god. As we got a very messy engagement. But Forjumi is holding on. Meanwhile, Adepts say shade into the main base. They commit to the shade. Nova does graze some of those Adepts. 2 of them go down. And Forjumi will defend. Do manage to defend. Behind this, Night Phoenix, the pressure is still on. Night Phoenix still down a base. Attempting to get into his own Disruptor production. The base on the way. Adepts, once again, they threaten a shade. Once again, they get into the main. Oh my god. Night Phoenix popping off. I say that, we do have Stalkers in position. Stalkers are ready. Night Phoenix does rotate. Nova goes off. Oof, big connection. It's whole damage dealt on that Immortal. And we do catch a couple of Stalkers with the Force Fields, not bad. Uh-oh. The Prism! No! Not again! Oh my god. We go for the dive, we go for the blink, the Prism goes out, the Immortals as well! Night Phoenix being a little bit cheeky with that drop, but he gets shot down. Ay, ay, ay. Forced to recall back home. For Jimmy moving out. And it does. Night Phoenix have enough to defend. We have a Disruptor. We have potentially one Nova. But against Blink Stalkers, it's easier said than done to really connect. Catching out reinforcements. We're catching out the initial army. GG. Congratulations gets called as we are too far behind. And for Jimmy will take the series, will take down the challenger, and will be this week's OSC King of the Hill. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations, for Jimmy is going to be the last player standing. It was an intense night of StarCraft. I do apologize for the stream going down earlier. For those that are curious, like 2 hours into the stream, the internet cut off, so the VOD is cut in half. I do apologize for that. My internet has been quite unstable as of late, but despite that, the matches were insane. The games were beautiful, and congratulations here to for Jimmy. Because of the incident that we had earlier with the internet dropping, we missed out on Mixu versus Baby Marine. That was the one game that we only got to see half of. We didn't get to see the completion of that match, unfortunately. But outside of that, we had some amazing matches here tonight, and let's quickly have a look at what's been going on. Oh boy. Let us have a look. Okay, from the top. There we go. There we go. We had 15 best of ones. We had initially Cristiano versus Night Phoenix. Again, Night Phoenix did have his debut, or did have his appearance in the beginning of the night. Cristiano was able to pop off, and we had a wild ride here where we had some big upsets. Azura took down Cristiano. I recommend the VODs. I recommend checking out the VODs here at this event because this was a wild one. Basically what happened here, TLDR, Azura went for a fake third. Azura was taking a lot of economic damage by Oracle Harass, by Adept Harass. Azura took a third base. Cristiano confirmed. Upon seeing that, Cristiano saturated his third, took a fourth. Meanwhile, Azura had cut workers at 30 probes. It was like 32 probes, 2 base saturation. Azura went for a big all-in and caught Cristiano with his pants down. So Azura popped off. Meanwhile, Nightmare arrived. Nightmare, one of the favorites for the entire tournament, brought down Azura, but it was short-lived as we had our first reigning King of the Hill, Nickrat. He popped off. He brought down Nightmare. He brought down Demi, Miomaika. He brought down Moja as well. Nickrat went on a very, very nice run here with a solid win streak of 4 before going down to Baby Marine. Again, that was an intense TBT. Honestly, this could have gone either way. This was a very close TBT between these two players, and at one point it was going in the favor of Nickrat, then Baby Marine, then Nickrat again. It was crazy. It ended in a Doom Drop. It was just a wild fight in the middle of the map. It was on Golden Aura, ended in a Doom Drop into the main. Nickrat out of position. Things popped off real quick. GG. Then this is when our internet cut out. We unfortunately missed out on Mixu versus Baby Marine here in the 9th round. We saw like the first half and we weren't able to see the second, but did go the way of Mixu. Mixu was able to bring Baby Marine down in what I imagine was a spicy ZVT. I'm sure it was amazing, I'm sure it was beautiful. And then we had the back and forth. Once again, we had Iba taking down Mixu. Iba going on his own run. He brought down Mixu, Rostock, and UD Soldier. Hydra came out of left field, was able to bring Iba down. And then for Jimmy, the final King of the Hill. Let's refresh. Let's see if we can... There we go. For Jimmy being the final King of the Hill there. Able to bring down Hydra and Night Phoenix at the end. So congratulations to For Jimmy. He is our king. May his reign be long. And with that, that also means that For Jimmy has the option to reprise his role as the King of the Hill next week. Basically, the last standing player is invited to next week's tournament, and they can be the starting player. That is what Cristiano was. Cristiano up here, he was last week's King of the Hill, but he didn't have the run he was hoping for. Likewise, For Jimmy can do the same as well. Doesn't have to, but he has the option. He has the option to accept the invite and be the starting player. Jimmy was the most well-known player. Kappa. Aye. Before Jimmy does come out on top. And yeah, with that, I hope you all enjoyed yourselves. Hope you all had a great time here tonight. Was a very fun event. Was very fun, as it always is here with OSC King of the Hill. Again, it's a very unique format, and it's not really a tournament format that we see too often anymore. Back in the day, it was Shoutcraft King of the Hill, which kind of popped off with it. And yeah, it's really cool to see OSC kind of following suit as well with their own iteration of the King of the Hill format. So much love, shout out to Eddie, of course, for organizing, for adminning, and for allowing this event to be a reality. So big shout out to Eddie, of course, and I hope you all enjoyed yourselves in the chat. Our next broadcast is going to be in a couple of days. Our next broadcast was going to be tomorrow, but because of all these internet issues and because the stream has been dropping every day consecutively for the past week, from last week Wednesday, it's been not gonna lie, every single stream that we had, I'm so anxious. Like, I'm so distracted, and I'm like holding my breath, like making sure that the stream like stays together. And yeah, the internet's been dropping every day so far. So tomorrow we're gonna be taking a day off. We're gonna be hopefully fixing the issue. We'll see what happens. But yeah, tomorrow we're gonna be taking a day off, and we should be coming back on Thursday. Never mind. Sorry, I just realized what day it was. So tomorrow we're taking the morning off, but you know what tomorrow is? EWC. The Esports World Cup is tomorrow. It begins, and it's going to be running for how many days? 5 days. 5 days in a row, Esports World Cup. We have permission to co-stream, so we're going to be live here on the channel. We're going to be co-streaming. So make sure to tune into that. It's going to be a lot of fun. If the stream is unstable, then we might just bail. We'll see. we'll see what happens with the co-stream. Fingers crossed that it's okay, and fingers crossed that it all goes well. It's going to be a long cast. It's going to be a long event. Basically, we'll see how day one goes. I'm going to be co-streaming day one, and if it's fun, if we enjoy it, then we'll be back for other days. Otherwise, we might just come back for like the finals or something, or the final day even. We'll see what happens. We'll try to host basically like a viewing party of Esports World Cup. So yeah, we'll try to make that a reality. Best of luck to all the players and all the talent that are getting involved in EWC. I'm sure it's going to be an amazing event, and be sure to tune in because again, there's a lot going on. There's a lot on the line here at EWC. It is the biggest event in the history of StarCraft, the biggest prize pool, the biggest prize money, and also will determine the future of StarCraft as well. So pretty important events, pretty important tournaments. Make sure you're a part of it. When does it start? It starts in less than 24 hours. Let me just quickly double check for you. EWC is going to be, let's find out, 18 hours. So 18 hours from right now. In 18 hours time, Esports World Cup is going to be live. So again, less than 24 hours. So make sure you mark your calendars, make sure you set your alarms for EWC. It is going to be a very long cast. It's going to be a very long event. So if you miss out on the beginning, it's going to be going all day. So so don't you worry. I'm sure you'll catch some of it. I'm sure you will catch some of it. The Australian copper scavenging Sarlacc worm has cut the lines again. Let's going hunting. That's exactly what's happening, Bob. Getting my spear, getting my boomerang. Anyone know where I can find the bracket? We got you, Bob. We got you. Hold on. I got you covered. There you go. Common olives, clam and olives. Let's go. Is there a stream for EWC for StarCraft? It's gonna be tomorrow. And we're gonna be co-streaming here as well, of course. Gonna be co-streaming. But for now, I guess we're going to be wrapping up. So thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for the support. Stick around. We're going to be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid. Who is streaming right now? Who can we send everyone over to? Let's find out. Who's streaming? We have ourselves as Codebar, as Protech, Mousy streaming. Let's go. Put some love to Mousy, fellow caster. We'll find someone. We'll find someone. So stick around, give them some love, give them some support. Otherwise, we'll see you guys tomorrow for the Esports World Cup. See you soon. Until then, thanks for watching. So there you go. You can follow us on all the social medias, !socials in the chat, and you can follow us, and you can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Discord. We also stream on YouTube at the same time as Twitch, so if you enjoy VODs on YouTube instead, then VODs are uploaded on a daily basis over on our YouTube channel, so plenty of content. Likewise, you can support us on Patreon. You can see the Patreon just under Night Phoenix's name. Our Patreon goal is set up there. That is to help fund our tournaments. We do host events on a weekly basis, so Patreon is the place to be. Otherwise, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys tomorrow for the Esports World Cup. See you then. See you then. See you then.